Now, hold on. What teaching was Jesus writing or drawing on the ground?
I don't think anybody knows.
You mean that wasn't recorded?
I guess
Hmm, I wonder what Jesus was teaching. The Story of Freedom, Part 3, in progress. About 20 minutes ago. It's Friday, December 4th, and participants of Mahayogi Yoga Mission's Disarming the Mind for Freedom are zooming in from different places. As they all watch from their separate locations, the story of freedom begins.
Ooh, stories. This is fun.
Hmm, I'm not really a religious person. Is this a religious group? It's getting kind of preachy.
It's true. I'm always looking at others, not at myself. How do I work on this? I want to begin right away.
Wow, during those times, people were really prejudiced.
I know these stories already. Nothing new.
Well, nobody's perfect. It's natural to slip up. I can understand that.
What can I learn from this? What do I need to work on?
Oh, I feel like the finger's being pointed at me right now.
Easier said than done. Do they think they're perfect or something?
Hmm, how are these stories connected? There must be a deeper meaning.
If they want to use these old stories, no problem. But that's just not my thing.
Well, these drawings are very interesting. This format is a good idea.
Ugh, this is making me feel like a bad person.
I sure wish my friend was listening to this right now.
I don't think I ever really do that. Throwing stones, at least not intentionally.
But aren't we doing that in a way? Every time we blame the politicians?
This is uncomfortable.
Isn't this just the way people are? All I can do is keep trying my best.
Good reminders. Sadia,
Yeah,
I wonder what people are really taking from these stories of freedom.
well, it's hard to say. But I can tell you that I'm really relating to a lot of those thoughts that we just saw coming up. I would say whenever I'm watching something, reading something, listening to someone, I often get all this range of thoughts from positive to negative. My mind always wants to say something about it. But what about you, Karuna? How are you relating to these stories of freedom?
Actually, this story that about the adulterous woman, I've heard that story for a long time since I was a child. It really began to hit me when I was thinking about it for this program. What I feel is not necessarily the freedom, but the lack of freedom,
Mm.
because I connected to the person holding the stone thrower, let's call them. And I realized, oh goodness, how many times do I judge people? How many times do I want to let them know what I think of them, even if it's hurtful? So it really hit me hard to realize that this habit of mine of judging people, criticizing them, is actually keeping me bound. It's keeping me feeling separated, not like a caring person. I feel bad about myself. But the more I thought about this stone, I felt like I carry this stone with me wherever I go in my pocket. And I'm ready to throw it if somebody does something that doesn't make me feel like I'm better than them. So, this is how I feel the unfree in this story.
It's interesting that you bring up that this unfree state. And I think I relate so strongly to this story about the rich widow. And I find that this symbol of the eclipse is really strong because this is exactly how I experience self consciousness. It is completely blinding. And, if I say a little more about that, I can tell you I've pretended for as long as I can remember. Pretended that I know, pretended that I'm confident in myself, that I have something valuable or unique to offer, and I've pretended that I don't pretend. And in fact, I'm so good at this pretending that I actually believe that I'm not. And I completely forget, and I may think others don't know, but it's pretty easy to tell. And I have to say that in all of this pretending, I'm never at peace. I pretend to be, but I'm not. It's a constant struggle being so deeply self conscious, consumed with myself, having to keep up with everything I pretend to be. So there's no rest, not even for a moment. Some good number of years ago, I started to glimpse all of this pretending and the suffering that it causes me. And I decided I want to try and stop pretending. So I worked on myself and I said, okay, I'm going to try this, I'm going to do that. Things I still say. But actually, it's not that easy because I can fall right back into pretending without realizing it. That's how strong this image is, how blinding self consciousness can be. And I keep trying to catch it and do something differently, but I don't really know what to do. I make mistakes often, and then I have a hard time trying to pretend that I'm not. But there are a few times that I've had a small moment where I break free from that pretending and that self consciousness. And I'll tell you that those very small moments are infinitely better than all the great moments in my whole life of pretending put together. So I find myself asking, what is this pretending and image and self consciousness? What's it all about? How long am I going to keep living this way? I think there's something that I need to learn, but I don't know what or how.
Story of Freedom, Part 4, The Gate. Ooh, a story. I've heard this one before. Same old. Do they think they're perfect or something? I'm going to work on this right away. Understanding, kind, rebellious, able, judgmental, greedy, indifferent. I'm doing the best I can under the circumstances. Those people are thinking only of themselves. I didn't know. They are really messing this up. I want to stay away from those people. I want to be with people like me. I'm going to try hard to be at ease and well. I want things to work out for me. I was born. I will become old. I will get sick and will die. I was born. Then life began to happen. There were people, and there was me. Living. I experienced success, loss, despair, and I began to long for the good times and to dread the bad times. I searched for meaning. Here, there, wherever, with whoever. I have loved and craved being loved. I have hated and steered away from those I despised. I have struggled to make my mind and my body strong and healthy. And I have strived to attain success, do well, and do good. I understand. I was born. How did I get here? Why? What am I supposed to do? I will become older. What is the purpose of being here? What do I need to learn? And I will become sick. Will the body ever be comfortable? Will I feel pain? And one day, I will die. Where will I go? Will I be lonely? Scared? Lost? Is life only suffering?
I suffer when I'm away from my loved ones. I suffer when I have to be with those I despise. I suffer in the struggle to get what I want. And I suffer from this mind and body that are impure. I have experienced anger. I remember joy, happiness. I remember fear. I remember sadness. And I remember pride. I wish for everybody to accept me, to appreciate me. I don't want to be rejected, criticized. I want to be liked, cared for, loved. I don't want to be judged. What I want is to be accepted as I. But what if we remove all of this?
Who am I?
This is
The beginning of disarming the mind.